The peaks had always been a haven of quiet, but that dawn the quiet felt unusual. It was thick, as if the breeze itself was pausing. The solitary lodge stood amid vast pine woods, its rugged carved walls worn by countless tempests. Within, Ethan Ward, once a warrior, now a hermit, was mixing his tea when he caught a soft groan above, the sound of cord under pressure. He stepped out, gripping his gun, and stopped short. Dangling upside down from the edge of his porch's roof was a young fair-haired lady, her locks swaying in the chilly gust, her wrists tied, and a rough patch of hide seared into her ripped shirt. The scorched letters were uneven and dark. A.P.I. Lover. If you value compassion, fresh starts, and tales that transform souls, please pause to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Your encouragement keeps these narratives thriving. Ethan's initial thought was that someone meant for this woman to perish. Not swiftly, but with a warning that would endure beyond her. In the untamed expanses of New Mexico lands, marking a woman. With such words was beyond cruelty. It was a death verdict. The rift between pioneers and the Apache had been simmering forages. Anyone suspected of favoring Thetribe was shunned, often pursued. Ethan knew this deeply. He'd witnessed it in youth, when his own sister was charged with aiding an Apache lad's escape from a mob. She never returned. The lady's skin was ghostly from hanging too long, her face flushed with blood. Ethan cut her free, catching her before. She struck the earth. She was light as a whisper, and as he carried her inside, her lips scarcely stirred. Her eyes flickered open just enough to reveal the glassy azure within. She carried a faint scent of ash, hide, and dread. Ashurs passed. Ethan labored to revive her, wrapping her in quilts, offering water sip by sip. She awoke fully by dusk, but her gaze toward him wasn't grateful. It was wary. She had the look of someone hunted so long she distrusted calm. Ethan didn't probe with queries. Instead, he prepared broth and placed it before her, letting the fire's warmth and the cabin's hush speak for him. Days became weeks, and slowly pieces of hurtle surfaced. Not in words, but in how she tensed at the sound of distant hooves, or how she sat by the window at twilight, eyeing the tree line with clenched hands. She was a railroad chief's daughter, raised in a place where Apaches were deemed barbarians and treated like spirits stealing livestock and young ones. Yet, while others saw foes, she saw humans. She'd once secretly nursed an injured Apache, youth back to strength, providing food and water until he could rejoin his kin. That deed went unseen for years until someone discovered it. The branding came from her own townsfolk, who accused her of betraying her people, of aligning with the enemy. She'd been bound, beaten, and hauled to the peaks as a caution to others. Her suspension from Ethan's roof was no mishap. It was a harsh message for him too. He'd once served in army units handling Apache matters, but left in revulsion after witnessing the carnage. Those who sought the death also aimed to remind him his past could still haunt him. Ethan knew sheltering her was risky. Word would spread. Men would come, not to talk, but to kill. Yet each day he grew more certain he couldn't send her away. Assailant. Bond formed, a mutual grasp of what it meant to be scarred by others, harshness. When snow fell, trouble arrived. 3 riders emerged on the path, their coats dusted white, their guns gleaming. They shouted Ethan's name, demanding he surrender. The lady stood behind the door, her hands shaking, her breath faint. Ethan urged her to flee out the back and follow the stream to the old mine, but she refused. She was done running. The clash was swift and fierce. Ethan's gun thundered in the crisp mountain air, scattering the riders, but one shot nicked his side. The lady, in a moment etched forever in his mind, pulled him inside and secured the door. She ripped strips from her own clothes to dress his wound, her hands steady, though her voice cracked. 4 hours, they waited for the sound of hooves to fade away. By spring, the world beyond the cabin had changed. Theridas never returned, perhaps believing Ethan had left, or the peaks had claimed them both. The lady stayed, helping mend the roof, tend the goats, and plant a small garden out back. The scar on her shoulder, where the brand had burned deep, never fully vanished, but her spirit endured. She began to smile, even laugh at times. Ethan realized something in those months. Loneliness wasn't just the absence of company, but of someone who truly understood you. Both outcasts, both marked by a world quick to condemn. Together they found what they thought was lost forever: peace. If this tale stirred your soul, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Every click helps us share more stories of bravery, compassion, and second chances. Before you go, I have a request. In the comments, share if you've ever stood by someone when the world turned against them. Your story might inspire another to do the same.